Hey, what's going on? It's Adam here, and if you're brand new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. And if you don't know who I am, I'm a seven-figure entrepreneur and CEO and founder of the Smart Business Mastermind. And today's video is not for everybody. It's for those of you who have a gift to speak or to train or to teach, and you feel like God has given you a message to reach more people. Well, that was me. I feel like God had given me a business to grow, and I knew that he had given me gifts to grow that business, but when I would talk about it or share it, there just wasn't enough people to talk to. And it was very hard to be able to get people's attention, to share what I did, and to lead them into the services that I was providing. And so as I unlocked these 5 skill sets that I'm about to share with you right now, it completely changed the game. And I've been able to build multiple successful businesses because once you have these skill sets, they won't just be a benefit in the short term, but they'll last you a lifetime, which is very exciting. So this very first skill set is learning how to fill your rooms. And I remember when I began, I didn't have a lot of people in my rooms. I had maybe a few people that would show up to some events that I was hosting. And it was very frustrating because I knew that I was meant to impact more people, but the people weren't there. Maybe you can relate to that, where God has given you a vision of the people you're supposed to lead, and you go, God, where are you at? I know that I'm supposed to lead more people, and then there's just a few people to start with. And one of the things that I found is that God will often give you a little before he can trust you with a lot. And so if that's you, I want to just encourage you to stay in the game, because today my events have been filled like every single month for the last 3.5 years from people around the world. And it's amazing to see these Zoom rooms filled every single time, cameras on, and it's so fulfilling to be able to get my gifts on display and help lead people in what I do, which is helping people grow and scale their businesses. So God has given you a message, and this is a skill set to master, and we now have 17 different marketing strategies in our mastermind on how to fill your events. But these skill sets need to be mastered because it's stewardship. And a lot of times we hope that the people will just show up if we build it. And that is where you see yourself in a cycle of being really excited to launch your business and then the people aren't there, right? So we've got to learn to fill our rooms. That's skill set number 1. Skill set number 2 is you've got to learn how to lead your rooms. And so I really struggled because when I finally got people in my room, I would do my pitch at the end and then people wouldn't buy. And that's very frustrating. Maybe if you are leading a ministry, for example, and you're wanting to donate and then nobody donates after you tell them about your cause. Or maybe you're leading a program and you want people to sign up in your business to become a client and nobody ends up buying, right? Or you're leading a recruiting presentation and nobody joins your team. It's very frustrating. And it takes a lot of work to get the room filled and to do all these things only to have nobody buy. So I had to learn the psychology of what it means to lead a room. And that is the leadership component, right? And so it's almost like God allows us to go through these struggles to allow us to develop the character so that he can trust us to lead people well. And there's a balance between giving value and teaching people and then also leading your events in a way that convert into the outcomes that you're praying, hoping, and believing for. So that is the second skill set, learning how to lead your rooms. The third skill set is learning how to pitch with vision. You know, there's a lot of manipulation out there, and there's a lot of weird closing tactics on how to present people into your offers. And that's something that I luckily didn't get involved in, but I've seen it happen. And I had the opposite problem. I was so generous in my offerings that there was no urgency, there was no psychology, there was no intention. It was just, here's what I do. If you want to do it, contact me after. And that's not strategic, right? So we need to still walk in purpose, but we still need to be able to walk in strategy. And one of the things that we've been able to teach our clients today is how to gamify their offers in a way that get people to want to buy your stuff, right? Because people need to be able to move forward and have the confidence that you can lead them into those results. And so how do you communicate that effectively in a way that builds desire and that gets people to want to move forward in taking next steps with you? The fourth skill set that I had to master is I had to be able to learn how to enroll with integrity. One of the things that you could do is you can run a great event. You can run a great experience, but if you don't have those enrollment conversations that happen at the end, then everything you have invested in can fall through. And that's something that I also had to learn because I was so excited to have people in the room and I led a great event and people are shaking my hand at the end and then nobody ends up buying, because I didn't know how to have the enrollment conversation. And so I had to do some work on the inner game with sales. And maybe that's you. Maybe you love leading community, but you struggle to lead people into your programs. Or maybe you have the opposite problem. Maybe you love sales, but you got to just get more people in the room, right? So we've got to be able to master the skill set, because you can have a really bad event or a really, not the best experience, but be really good at sales and save it. But you can't have a great event and be bad at sales and then save it, right? We got to be able to master that skill set to be able to roll with integrity. And then the fifth one is being able to deliver with excellence, so that you have confidence in being able to bring people into your work. Because in the back of your mind, if you don't believe that what you have to offer at the end is really going to be transformative or of high value, that shows through your event. So that's where the experience really begins, is you get to walk your clients through that next phase once they enroll, and that's where your work truly can begin, right? So with that being said, I want to share a story. I taught these 5 skill sets to a friend of mine. He's a dear client and a friend of mine, and he didn't have any of this in place. God had called him to lead people, and he felt he had the gift to teach and to train, and so I worked with him, and this is a quick snapshot of a video from him. Take a look.
On this last process, I'll tell you this, we've actioned over 100K, which is just wild.
So as you can see, he has gotten results here with us, and we have pages and pages of stories just like his of people that we've been able to help. And so if that's you and you want to be able to learn how to launch events and lead people into your programs or to projects that you're leading, then I want to invite you to sit in with us on our next workshop. I'm going to be teaching how to launch 6-figure virtual events. And we're going to be going more into how we do this end to end in more depth and more detail. And I think that if you watch that or experience that with us, it's going to be taught live. You'll be able to ask questions. It's a safe room. It's interactive. I think you'll be blown away by what you experience. And these skill sets, once you learn them once, you can use them for any vision that you feel called to lead. And I think it'll change the game for you. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope that helps you increase today. And I will see you guys next time.